Why Lisa Marie Presley tried to stop the Priscilla movie from happening. Before passing away at the start of 2023, Lisa Marie Presley made her feelings on the new film Priscilla known. She initially expressed shock and horror over the depiction of her father Elvis Presley in the script for this film, Sofia Coppola's latest Oscar bait movie. Described in 2 emails that were obtained by the news outlet Variety, Lisa had major issues with the script and asked Coppola to reconsider her vision for the character and to spare her family of the public embarrassment. Those messages were sent just about 4 months before Presley suffered a fatal cardiac arrest. In her correspondence, Presley called the script contentious and shockingly vengeful. They also contained pleas to Oscar-winning director Coppola to refrain from straining her fragile relationship with her mother and the subject of the film, Priscilla Presley. The film is a biopic of Priscilla based on the subject of the 1985 memoir Elvis and Me. The film has recently sparked a lot of controversy due to the depiction of its characters, specifically the way that they get married. For those of you who may not know, and I personally didn't know this when I was scripting, Elvis and Priscilla were married in 1959 in Germany when Elvis was 24 and Priscilla was only 14. According to the emails that Lisa sent before her passing, Lisa felt that her father came across as a predator and manipulator. As his daughter, she did not read the script and see any of her father in that character. She also felt that her mother's perspective of her father was absent as well. She read the script and it was nothing more than some shockingly vengeful and contemptuous perspective, and she didn't understand why. While the cameras had not actually rolled on the set, Lisa reached out to inform Coppola that she would speak out against the project and her mother, who is credited as an executive producer and has participated in publicity for the project and for A24. She said in an email that she would be forced to be in a position where she must openly say how she feels about the project and go against Coppola, her mother, and the studio behind it. When Coppola was asked to comment on the situation, she actually responded through her representatives with words she expressed to Presley in response to her September 2022 emails. She hoped that when Lisa actually saw the film that she would feel differently and understand that she was taking great care in honoring Priscilla and also presenting Elvis with sensitivity and complexity. Both Priscilla and A24 declined to speak on the subject. An insider close to the set revealed that the exchange took place only weeks before Lisa's passing. The film Priscilla is exclusively based on Elvis and Me, and efforts were made to tone down some of the elements of the book regarding the couple's courtship that would have been shocking to people in theaters. The goal of the film was to tell a love story, with the primary tension of the film being Priscilla's struggles to adapt to life with a global superstar husband. Lisa is said to have received an early draft of the script, which was eventually trimmed down by like 10 pages. The film was an official selection of this year's Venice Film Festival, and it premiered with stellar reviews and won its star Kaylee Spaney a Best Actress prize. Media outlets and viewers have talked about the age gap and power dynamics between the on-screen Elvis and Priscilla. The man behind this version of Elvis, Jacob Elordi, is no stranger to a negative role. One of his first big roles was on the show Euphoria, and if you have seen that show, then you know how bad Nate is. He's not a great guy. Not me, Nate. Different Nate. He's appeared in several roles as the handsome man with the dark side, with the most graphic one being in the Mortuary Collection from 2019, an anthology film that sees Jacob playing a young man who becomes pregnant after lying to his partner about using protection. And I will never unsee that birthing scene ever. And if you love horror movies, please check that one out. It's a great one. The film showcases the attrition by which psychological mistreatment wears partners down. Yeah, the internet is calling out this portrayal of Elvis as being a little bit creepy and groomery. A lot of people who've actually seen this movie found it to be in line with Coppola's filmography and is largely about a young woman's life in a gilded cage. When Lisa made her opinion on the project known, the main fear was that her mother would not understand the modern translation of her relationship to Elvis. If a 24-year-old tried to marry a 14-year-old right now, they would be arrested. While there may have been no malice with Elvis, the way the things played out do not make him look good at all. In another email sent before her passing, Lisa expressed how protective she felt over her mother, who had spent most of her life elevating Elvis's legacy. She was worried that her mother just really would not understand the intentions behind the film or the outcome that it would have. In the emails, Lisa said that of all people who would understand what she was trying to say, it should be Sofia. Of course, alluding to Sofia's father, Francis Ford Coppola, who is the man behind the Godfather franchise. When it comes to questions about the age difference in the film, Coppola has been treading lightly. When speaking to Rolling Stones, she said that she tries to not be judgmental of any other characters and really be as sympathetic as she can to each of them. Coppola said that she's very focused on Priscilla's perspective, but even with her parents, she was like, hey, how can anybody let their kid go live with Elvis? That is way too young. Priscilla Presley has come forward and made it very clear that she may have been married to Elvis at 14, but she was not intimate with him before she was ready or mature enough. She also mentioned that she has seen the film and is thrilled with the outcome. I know, it's crazy. But Lisa is not the only person or thing that wanted limitations on this project. The company that actually owns Graceland denied the director the opportunity to use any of Elvis's discography. So I have not seen the film yet, but does that mean that there's like zero Elvis music in this movie? Like, that doesn't make much sense. There was one final piece of the puzzle that needed to be set down. In one of her final emails, Lisa made sure that everything was on the table. She reminded Coppola that the film would be another blow to the family. There's going to be this movie out there in the world about her father, the grandfather of her kids. The film is trying to make her father seem really, really bad when that just wasn't the case. She went on to say that she had to explain to her kids that her grandmother was supporting this film, a woman that they looked up to for years. Lisa's kids went through a lot in 7 years, enduring a divorce, a custody battle, and the loss of their brother. Apparently, the one Elvis-centered film that Lisa really did approve of was Elvis from 2022. According to Lisa, when her kids saw the film where Austin Butler played Elvis, it was a break from suffering and a ray of light that hit the family hard. It made her kids so proud and honored to be his granddaughters. It made them feel blessed for a moment and less cursed in life. It made everyone so proud as it was a true depiction of who he really was. Considering how well that film did, Lisa seemed confused. Why would there need to be another attempt to take her father down on the heels of such an incredible film, using the excuse that she was trying to tell Priscilla's story, but in a dark and twisted way? Wanna know something really dark and twisted? When Lisa passed away, a will was presented that named her daughter as in control of her trust, but her own grandma decided that that didn't sit well with her and started court proceedings to have the documents read through and reassessed. Priscilla's problem was that she is Elvis's wife. She is solely responsible for bringing his estate out of debt, and therefore she should be entitled to the entirety of his fortune. It has not been specified how much money is actually in play, but it was recently revealed the court proceedings were settled. Now, it's unclear who is in charge of what at this time, but it's just odd that she had a judge look over her daughter's will to be like, wait a second, I don't get anything? That doesn't make any sense. She released a statement asking to give her family privacy at this time and respect their wishes to not air any dirty laundry, something that seems to be a problem for a lot of celebrities these days. I'm looking at you, Jada. Coppola released an official comment on the film, and she has nothing but positive things to say. Priscilla was not just the main subject of the film, but she is also listed as an executive producer. The film and her part in it has sparked a massive amount of backlash among viewers, because Lisa was kinda right. From what I've been able to read, Elvis does not come out of this film looking like a Marvel hero, quite the opposite. In fact, the film was not sanctioned by the official Elvis estate. Priscilla was actually a bit hesitant at first because the film did reveal a lot about herself and her family, but she has gone on record to say that the film is spot on. She continued to say that she would not trust anyone else with telling this story and adapting her 1985 autobiography. In fact, Priscilla is a big fan of Coppola and her work. There were some pretty dark revelations from this film, and since its release, a lot of Presley-related information has been updated. For instance, Elvis did not want to have a lot of children, despite what a lot of people might tell you. According to Priscilla, Elvis made a conscious effort to keep the number of little Elvis down to a minimum. The main reason being, well, he was well aware that he was not home enough to warrant an actual family life. Being, well, Elvis, he was always on tour or out performing or recording. According to Priscilla, there was actually a lot of regret and guilt on Elvis's part, not being able to be around for a solid chunk of Lisa's childhood. While the couple did eventually split for good in 1973, his schedule before that was just a nightmare. The actress who portrays Priscilla in the film actually had a lot of fun making the movie despite its heavy subject matter. For the stars of the film, this was their first time seeing themselves on a big screen. Now, despite Jacob being in film film and TV, most of his appearances have been limited to streamers like Shudder or HBO Max. Priscilla gave both Jacob Elordi and his co-star Kaylee Spaney a chance to breathe and truly grow as actors. While doing press for the film, Jacob expressed his joy at going to festivals and showcasing his skills. He said that he was so deeply grateful to be able to go to all these different stages, to sit in rooms with people who actually loved this film. It's like being given a golden ticket. Under normal circumstances, this would be a big break for the stars, but thanks to the current acting strike in Hollywood that is yet to finish, it seems like this may be Jacob and Kaylee's last project for a while. There is actually another film starring Jacob making waves at festivals called Saltburn, a satire of the British class system from promising young woman director Emerald Fennell. He plays Felix, a charming and callous son of an aristocrat who adopts a scholarship kid every year at Oxford to bring home to his family's country estate. And I'm definitely gonna see that movie. Are we about to see a movie where Nate Jacobs hunts small British boys? Because that would be messed up, but I'd buy tickets to it. And that's all the Priscilla information that I have for you today. If you enjoyed this news breakdown, please let us know by leaving a like on the video, follow the channel for more celebrity content each and every day, and thank you for stopping beyond the screen. We'll see you next time. Air in my body.